Welcome student to the students of standard 8. I welcome you to this class. We have studied our history chapter 1, history chapter 2 and today we are going to study about the history chapter 3, ruling the countryside. It is a very important chapter, though it is a small chapter, but it's very important chapter. Students, the British agrarian policy. The chapter starts with the British agrarian policy. First of all, we have to understand what is the meaning of the word agrarian. Students, the meaning of the word agrarian means the reform, changes, making some reforms is called agrarian. So British agrarian policies, it is the British reform of agriculture, industries and trade in India. Okay, when British started making some reforms in the agriculture, in the industries and trade. Especially in this chapter we are going to see the British reforms of agriculture in India. Now students, the question is why British wanted to reform the agriculture in India? What was the purpose that British started making some changes in the agriculture? So for that we have to go to the history. Students, you know that in the Battle of Buxar, which took place in 1764 between the East India Company and Mir Qasim. Mir Qasim, who fled and joined with Shah Alam or Sojaudullah. Okay, he ran away from Bengal and then he joined with Shah Alam II and Sojaudullah, and he fought with the East India Company in the Battle of Buxar in 1764. We all know that the British company defeated Mir Qasim in that battle and British won the battle. As a result, British got the Diwani right of Bengal, Bihar and Orissa. With the beginning of this battle, the Battle of Buxar, when British East India defeated Mir Qasim and Shah Alam II and Sojaudullah, and with this beginning Sojaudullah, he had an agreement. Okay, a treaty was signed. According to that agreement, the British was given the Diwani rights of Bengal, Bihar and Orissa. Now the second question is, what is Diwani right? Diwani right means it is the right to collect the revenue. Diwani right allowed the company to collect revenue from Bengal, Bihar and Orissa. So I hope you understand. When British company defeated Mir Qasim, Sojaudullah and Shah Alam in the Battle of Buxar in 1764, a treaty was signed and the British company got the Diwani of Bengal. So now British East India Company became the Diwan of Bengal. So after becoming Diwan of Bengal, what they did, they got the right to collect the revenue from the Bengal. So that big problem of British East India Company was solved, because till now the British were getting the money, income from England government. British East India Company was receiving money from the England government to buy the silk and cotton. But when British East India Company got the Diwani right or right to collect revenue from Bengal, it gave the East India Company a huge amount, a huge income in the form of revenue. They collected a huge amount and therefore now they became self-sufficient, and with that revenue, with that money, they could now buy the silk and cotton from India. So you see, this revenue, this Diwani right of Bengal, Bihar and Orissa gave the British East India Company the huge money. This money was used by East India Company to buy the revenue, buy the silk and cotton. Till now, for money they had to depend on Bengal, but now they have their own money and they could easily buy the cotton and silk. At the same time, they could maintain the large army, the soldiers. So this money was very much important. This revenue was very much important for the East India Company. Okay, now students, when British East India Company got this Diwani right to collect the revenue from Bengal, they laid a huge amount of revenue on the farmers of Bengal. As soon as they got the Diwani right to collect the revenue, East India Company laid a huge burden on the farmers. A big amount was laid on the farmers. They had to pay huge amount as a revenue. So huge revenue was laid on the farmers. This led to the deep crisis of economy of Bengal. When British East India Company laid a huge burden on the farmers of Bengal, they had to pay a huge amount of revenue, which was very difficult for the people of Bengal. Okay, so as a result, when British started collecting huge revenue, this led to the crisis because they were only after their own benefit. They did not look any benefit of the people of Bengal, Bihar or Orissa. They did not look for the development of this area. Rather, their main purpose was to collect the huge revenue from the people of Bengal. Because of this led to the crisis, economic crisis. This led to the economic crisis of Bengal, and the condition, financial condition of Bengal became very poor. Okay, at the same time, there was a big famine hit in 1770. In 1770, there was a big famine in Bengal, and because of this famine, okay, there was no cultivation, there was no crops production. A big famine. Many people died on this famine. Many people lost their lives, and many people started migrating, leaving Bengal, because I have already told you they faced the economic crisis in Bengal, the financial crisis, and at the same time there was a problem of famine, and British East India Company did not look to this any of this matter because their main purpose was to collect the revenue to get their own income. So the people of Bengal started migrating from Bengal. They left Bengal and went to other part of the country. So when this British East India saw this, that people of Bengal are migrating from Bengal, they are leaving Bengal, and therefore from where they will get the revenue, who will do the cultivation. So this made the problem for the East India Company. It was an alarm for the East India Company when East India Company saw that people are leaving Bengal, and then who will cultivate, who will do the cultivation and give the revenue to the company. So therefore British brought some policies to make changes in the agriculture. So you students, you understand why these agrarian policies, these reforms, changes in the agriculture came, because now British wanted to improve the agriculture so that people of Bengal may not leave Bengal, they should live in Bengal and do the cultivation. They should do the cultivation and grow the crops. At the same time, they should also pay the revenue to the East India Company. So with this purpose, to stop the migration of people from Bengal, to improve the agriculture, they brought different agrarian policies, different the changes in the agriculture. Okay, so these are the different systems. The first one was the bid or ijaradari system. The first system started by Warren Hastings. Warren Hastings started this ijaradari system in 1773. In Bengal, this first revenue collecting system, Ijaradari system. In this Ijaradari systems, British East India Company auctioned some lands. A particular land was auctioned, and in this auction, the highest bidders. Now, bidders means those who pay the highest money in the auction. So, highest bidders were selected in these auctions. Okay, and they were given the right to collect the revenue from that place. Okay, and they paid this revenue to the East India Company. So first system was the Ijaradari system. In Ijaradari system, a particular land was auctioned, and those who paid the highest money, they were given the right to, those people were given the right to collect the revenue from that place, and they gave this revenue to the East India Company. So this was the Ijaradari system. The Ijaradars collected revenue from the people and paid to the company. So this was the first system of revenue collection, and this was the first changes that the East India Company brought in the field of agriculture. This was mainly done to stop the people of Bengal, so that they should not leave the place, and they should remain in the Bengal, and they should do the agriculture and then pay the revenue to the East India Company. Later on, when this Ijaradari system continued for many years, the second system they started was the permanent settlement system. Permanent settlement system was the other steps to stop the people of Bengal from leaving Bengal and do the agriculture. So that was the very interesting, the permanent settlement. How permanent settlements, okay, improve the agriculture and give some benefits to the people of Bengal, as well as the East India Company got the revenue. So hope you students, you understand under which situation, under which background these different reforms were brought in the field of agriculture by the East India Company. Why East India Company brought the changes in the agriculture? Why they wanted to change the agriculture system in India? Their main purpose was to get the revenue, more and more income, revenue. Okay, and when they started doing it, I told you, when they got the Diwani rights of Bengal, when they became the Diwan of Bengal, got the right to collect the revenue from Bengal, Orissa and Bihar, and then they started making different policies. Okay, and why especially they immediately they needed to change, make a reform in the agriculture? Because the situation that was in Bengal. Okay, because of seeing this situation, British East India Company, they were forced to make some changes, and ultimately their main purpose was to collect the revenue. So students, I hope you understood these things. In the next class we will continue with the permanent settlement system. Okay, so that's all for today. Thank you.